Welcome to your Soul Culture Oracle Morning Show podcast, where I dive into hot topics with a spiritual spin. I'm your host, yemaya, and I'm thrilled to guide you through the thought-provoking conversations that inspire you to tap into your inner wisdom and live your very best life. From relationships and self-care to career to personal growth, I want to explore it all with a holistic approach. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and join me for a soul coaching journey that will leave you feeling empowered and enlightened. Hey, you guys. This is yemaya, your soul culture oracle with the morning show, okay? Starting this week, I will be doing a morning show on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. for you morning people. And don't forget that every Wednesdays and Saturdays, myself and the inspirational messenger BG will be doing live every Saturdays and Wednesdays with your topics and all types of episodes for you guys, okay? So y'all stay tuned in, because today yemaya, your soul culture oracle here, will be talking about Beyoncé and Jay-Z and how Jay-Z has put her on drugs to control her. So y'all stay tuned. It's yemaya, your soul culture oracle here with Beyoncé and Jay-Z, the controversy.
Thank you for tuning in to your Soul Coaching Oracle podcast. Today's commercial advertising is sponsored by Sacred Creations and Healing, LLC. Are you looking for spiritual guidance and inspiration? Look no further than Hannah Yemaya's Books and More on Sacred Creation and Healing, LLC's Facebook. Visit www.facebook.com/Sacred Creations Healing / to find out more. Don't wait. Start your spiritual journey today with Sacred Creations and Healing.
All right, you guys, this is Hannah Yemaya, your Soul Culture Oracle on the Soul Culture Oracle Morning Show with Hannah Yemaya. And today I said we was going to talk about Beyoncé and her and Jay-Z, as everybody is saying that Jay-Z is drugging her to control her. And I have a video that Jaguar Wright, I don't know if you guys know who Jaguar Wright is, but Jaguar Wright is actually a YouTube person that is talking about how Jay-Z is drugging her to control her. So I have a small clip that I want to share with you guys before I get into what my thoughts is about the Jay-Z and Beyoncé drug thing. And I want you guys to listen, okay? So y'all stay tuned and listen to this little clip, and I will get back with my word of what I think this is going to be about.
Y'all talking about free Britney. Y'all need to be doing a campaign that say free Beyoncé.
Yeah, Beyonce's on drugs. She's been on them for a long time, and you keep her that way.
Jaguar Wright is back with another claim, and this time it involves the most iconic couple on the planet, Beyoncé and Jay-Z. And according to Jaguar, Beyoncé isn't just drunk in love. She's also drugged up in it, and it's Jay-Z who's keeping her hooked on substance to control her. Allegedly, of course. If you don't know who Jaguar Wright is, you'll definitely know her by the end of this video. And for those who do...
So, in the video that I just played for you guys, it actually has Beyonce's former bodyguard that says that Jay-Z has been, that Beyoncé has been on drugs for years, and this is her way of surviving, and they actually played a video of Beyoncé actually on drugs, talking about how she's trying to survive for her family and her kids. And you can tell if you watch the video that Beyoncé was within, having consumed drugs. You can tell by her eyes. Her eyes was dilated. And everything that she was, saying, she was kind of, rumbling, and she was talking, but she wasn't making any sense. Now, in this segment, I feel like Beyonce, maybe if she is on drugs, nobody can force you to do drugs. Now, somebody can actually get you addicted to drugs if you are one of those people that is easily influenced. And I feel like Beyonce is a human robot for Jay-Z. Beyonce has been making, music that she never have made before, like Lemonade, the Lemonade song, the album. From the Lemonade song, the album, all the way up until now, Beyonce was not making music like that. I feel like Beyonce has been going through a lot with Jay-Z, from cheating to the lying to the infidelity that made her become strung out on drugs. Okay, so I don't believe that Jay-Z is actually drugging her to control her, but Jay-Z is actually drugging her in a way to control her when it comes to her music. As her producer, this could be something that Jay-Z is doing to make her sing the music that he writes for her, because I know for a fact that Beyonce do not write her own music. So there is another one where they talks about how Jay-Z is struggling, making her, revealing that Beyonce needs drugs to survive, and I believe that in this sense that he does, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna play it one more time, because this is a different video, and it's going to talk about the things that Jay-Z and Beyonce was saying, the things that, and this video is 10 minutes long, so I'm going to play at least 5 minutes of this video, so y'all can hear it. So y'all listen up. Here we go.
All time, and Jay being one of the most powerful men in the music industry. Their power couple status has been one that people aspire to, or just fell in love with. But recent revelations that are coming to light are showing that all that glitter is not gold. Because according to rumors, Beyoncé is heavily addicted to alcohol and drugs, and it's Jay-Z who is pulling all the strings. But Jay is finally setting the record straight, and you are not going to believe what really is going on with the Carters. Okay, to give you some context, Bey and Jay first met in 2000 when Beyonce was still 18 years old, but they didn't start dating until a year later, or that's what she told the press. Anyway, 7 years later they got married in a very private ceremony, and after some more years, Blue Ivy was born, and in due time, they welcomed the twins, Carter and Ruby. And for anybody looking at the Carters from the outside, their story seems like the perfect fairy tale. They are surrounded by the love of their family and their fans, all of that. But recent revelations and allegations leveled by Hollywood insiders show that all of this might be a sham. Now, rumors that Bey is usually doped up have been floating around since forever. And while I'll be the first to admit that part of these rumors might be fueled by the fact that Queen Bey seems superhuman, there have also been evidence to prove that these aren't mere theories. And if anything, these rumors heightened after Jay-Z cheated on Bey, and she was caught on camera looking spaced out and out of it. Now, no one could confirm.
Now, in this video that they shows, Beyonce is at a basketball game, and she does look very drugged out. She looks like she's in La La Land. And I have been to like several of Beyonce's shows, okay? And she's a good performer. Now, as far as her, doing drugs, nobody knows, because Beyonce has not came out and said anything about her drug habit. But I know for a fact that if she is on drugs, everybody is on drugs nowadays. If you're not doing ecstasy pills, you're smoking weed. If you're not smoking weed or you're doing ecstasy pills, you're doing coke. If you're not doing coke, you're smoking cigarettes. If you're not smoking cigarettes, you drink alcohol. And I live in a small town in Statesville, North Carolina, where half of the town is doing drugs. And if they're not doing drugs, they are drinking, they're living drugless. You know what I'm saying? Reckless. Now, reckless act. I don't feel like Beyonce is being reckless with her drug consuming if she is doing drugs. But I feel like, why is it your business what she do if she's paying for it? Okay. Now, I don't feel like Jay-Z is the reason why she's doing drugs. I don't feel like Jay-Z is making her do drugs to control her, because a person that does drugs, they do it because they want to. They do it because they want to feel numb. And nobody knows what she's going through. Nobody knows what is happening in her everyday life. We only see her on TV when she's performing. Beyonce doesn't have a TV reality show where they following her around, they telling her what to do. She's not, you don't see her kids in the spotlight except for Ivy. I don't feel like a woman that is on drugs will have her daughter on stage dancing and doing the things that she's doing. That it doesn't solidify to me that she's on drugs. Now, I'm a big fan of Beyonce myself, okay? I have all her albums from Destiny Child all the way up until she became a solo artist. I don't feel like Beyonce is someone that can be provoked to do drugs or she's not one of those people that is easily influenced, okay? Now, I read on an article that Beyonce growing up, that she always dreamed of being a star. There was a boyfriend of hers that talked about how Beyonce was scared to get in trouble, scared to do drugs, smoke a cigarette, because she felt like that was going to hunt her from being a star. So when it came to doing things that was unusual for her, she would back out because she had a reputation to uphold, and she knew that she was going to be a star. So why would Beyonce, starting now, decide to do drugs after years of being in the spotlight, now that she's with Jay-Z? Make it make sense. I feel like some people are out here trying to get $1 off of her name, okay? They wanting to use her name to make money, to, bring her down, or to, get the money that they need to use her name. Now, one thing I can say, if she is doing drugs, it is not because of Jay-Z. I feel like she's doing it because she can't deal with what she's going through in her real life. And nobody knows what she's going on. And I'm going to say that one more time, because I didn't said it twice in this podcast, that Jay-Z and Beyonce are a wonderful couple. But I do not believe that Jay-Z is the one that put her on drugs, or forcing the drugs on her, or making her take drugs to survive. I think Beyonce, or if she is on drugs, that she is doing this on her own. Okay? I feel like that she is doing this so much on her own because she is dealing with something that I call industry syndrome. Can't deal with how their fans is talking about them, how people are talking about them, the tabloids, the articles that's written about Beyonce. She's dealing with a lot, and we as humans that doesn't have Beyonce money doesn't know how that feel when you're in the spotlight every freaking day of the year. So I'm gonna finish playing this video because I feel like we want more. Okay, I want to hear more. Let's hear more.
Exactly what was really going on, or what made Queen Bey act this way, but a faction on the Beehive suspected that it most certainly had to do with drugs. But then they didn't blame Beyonce for using, and instead turned their anger towards Jay, who they believed was trying to control her with drugs. And even before this, Beyonce once recorded a video where she was extremely emotional and vulnerable. And while this is very moving, she also looked like she was wasted. And people were quick to blame Jay-Z because the history between the two has always seemed shady.
Now, in case y'all didn't hear Beyonce saying what she said she's living a dream. She's living a dream. And yes, she is living a dream. And yes, she do look like she could be intoxicated on alcohol. But I don't see her being intoxicated and on drugs. Now, I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with having a couple drinks here and a couple drinks there. But in the video, Beyonce doesn't look hysterically drunk. She looked like she had a couple drinks and she's feeling herself. She's feeling good. She's happy. She's living the dream that she always lived. Now, remind you guys, I said that in the prior article I read where her ex-boyfriend in high school said that Beyonce always said that she was going to be a star. She is just happy. I feel like in this video, she was happy. She was drunk. She had a couple drinks. Who don't have a couple drinks every now and then? Okay? I know I do. And sometimes when I have a couple drinks, I talk to myself. I get on my video. I have videos in my phone right now where I may have had a couple drinks and I was talking, sounding belligerent. Okay? But I don't feel like nobody should blame Jay-Z for the things that Beyonce doing, even though that they are married. I feel like Beyonce has a mind of her own, a mouth that should be heard. And if she feels like, if anybody feels like that Jay-Z is Beyonce's downfall of her doing drugs and doing alcohol, we don't know what she was doing before she got with Jay-Z. Now, I do have a video of where her former bodyguard said that she has been doing it for years. I don't know if that's before Jay-Z or after Jay-Z, but I want to know. So let's listen to the rest of the video, you guys.
And one reason it seemed this way was due to the timeline of their relationship. Now, according to Beyoncé, she and Jay first met when she was 18, which makes her barely legal. And even though she said that she friend-zoned him for about a year, it was quite clear from the get-go that he was into her romantically. And while there is nothing wrong with liking someone when they are 18 years old, there are a lot of things wrong with an older man being romantically linked to barely legal girls when he's in his late 20s. Now, Jay has been linked to both Foxy Brown and Aaliyah. And at the time he was linked to Foxy, she was about 15 years old and he was 10 years older than her. As for Aaliyah, even though it was likely that he knew the dirty secret of how R. Kelly abused Aaliyah and manipulated her into a marriage when she was barely 15, he still thought of her as fair game and even did a collab album with R. Kelly before his fall from grace. And even though he has denied that anything ever happened between him and Foxy or with Aaliyah, fans can't help but feel that the power dynamic between he and Faye isn't balanced and that he doesn't regard her as an equal. And this suspicion is supported by his verse in 444 when he asked Beyonce not to embarrass him when he first tried to ask her out. Then he later went on to rap that Faye matured faster than him. Moreover, there's this video of an anniversary dinner where Faye hailed Jay as the one who taught her how to be a woman. So not her mom, not her dad, or even some close relation to her family taught her how to be a woman, but her husband, who she met when she wasn't even old enough to be drinking, and who had about 10...
Now, listen, you guys. Who talks so highly of a man like that? If this man put this woman on drugs, why is she talking highly of him? Now, that video that they just played were a video that was made in 2006, okay? Now, Beyonce is 41 years old, okay? 41, 42, okay? And Jay-Z may be 49, 48, 46, whatever. Whatever the case his age may be. But why would a woman that supposedly her husband put her on drugs talk highly of him, if that's the case? I feel like Jaguar Wright is wanting publicity on something that she knows nothing about. Now, even though there was a video of the person that used to be her bodyguard said that she'd been on it for years, I would like to know if Jay-Z was around at the time. How long have she been on drugs? When did she start doing drugs? Was it before Jay-Z or after Jay-Z? That's what I want to know. So let's get to the bottom of it. But before we get to the bottom of it, I would like to go onto a break. And y'all guys stay tuned because this is Hannah Yemaya, your morning show, your Soul Coach and Oracle morning show with Hannah Yemaya. And I'll be back after these messages.
everybody, this is Coach Mel. If you're looking to improve your health, other areas of life that needs nourishment beyond food, such as one-on-one coaching, self-care, physical activity, relationships, and so much more, please reach out to us on our website at ichoosemewellness.com and fill out our intake form, and we'll be right back in touch with you. Let's get you scheduled.
All right, you guys, I'm back with your Soul Culture Oracle Morning Show with Hannah Yemaya. And I know that I told you that I wanted to know more about how Beyonce started, doing drugs. But I actually found an article where one of the people in her hometown actually said that her babysitter, Beyonce's former babysitter, a convicted drug dealer, his name is Belford Brown, detailed to the world how things were for the singer before she hit it big. At the time, Beyonce was a member of a girls' time group called a group mentored by Adretta Tillman. Okay, and Tillman's nephew Brown, who had a hand in mentoring Beyonce in between his illegal activities. According to Brown, I was around Beyonce a lot from 1980 onwards. Okay, now Adretta Tillman is his aunt. Okay, now Belford Brown is Adretta Tillman's nephew. Okay, now Brown, who had a hand in mentoring Beyonce in between his illegal activities, Adretta Tillman, his aunt, was the original manager of Destiny's Child and Beyonce. And he told this to the Radars. Now, he said that he spent a lot of time around them in the early years. And he said, I guess you could say that I was Beyonce's babysitter. So basically, this man has been around Beyonce for a long time, since she became famous, or before she was even famous. Now, he also said, at the time I was selling drugs, he added, I did get caught up in some federal indictments, and I had to leave them behind to go to prison near Dallas. I was there. He was in prison for 12 years. As if all were enough, the young Beyonce caught in a lot of drama at home, as the Knowles family friend Brian Moore claimed that in his memories, the making of Child of Destiny, the entertainer Matthew, her father Matthew Knowles, was a cocaine snorting serial cheater in the early years of his career. So if Beyonce was doing drugs, it's because of her father. Okay. According to Moore, Matthew has known to go to Tillman's garage to do cocaine and other drugs during rehearsals for the girls' time, and would come back ranting and raving, yelling and carrying on. In addition, Moore went on to claim that Matthew would attend important meetings about Beyonce's future career as high as a kite. So it could be hereditary that Beyonce got her drug use from her dad, not Jay-Z. Now, in addition to drugs, Moore's book paints Beyonce's daddy as an adamant sex addict. So he was addicted to sex. Beyonce's Matthew Knowles was addicted to sex. Now, he often cheated on his wife Tina. Okay. Now, there was an author named J. Randy Taboro, Beyonce's biography. So he wrote a book about Beyonce. Okay, and Becoming Beyonce goes deeper into the situation, as revealed that Tina was so desperate for help that she once turned to drug dealing Brown for help. Okay, and Moore's book goes on to acknowledge how Tillman confronted Brown about Knowles' drug situation and asked him if he could supply him with the drugs. Brown denied the claim. Okay, now in this set, Knowles' drug use was so bad, according to Moore, that even when those around him started noticing his frequent drug-induced rage, he only increased his drug use. And it was getting out of control, that Moore said. And he started lying even more to Tina and giving her the impression that there were meetings going on, and Matthew used them to cover up that he had affairs with different women. And this sounds familiar, like that certain TV show, right? to hear Brown tell it, Tina was not a happy camper about Matthew, what Matthew was doing. So much that the pair would engage in explosive fights all the time. So you gotta think, Beyonce has went through a lot, okay? Now, have you guys seen the show Empire Brown Joke? The whole thing about this was like the Empire before the TV show, okay? Radars note that Matthew eventually checked into a rehab for sex addiction, but in 2011, Matthew Knowles' divorce was final with Tina Knowles. And with all of this, you have wondered what ultimately drove Beyonce to be as driven and for success as she is. According to Moore, the answer comes from another dark place. With Moore allegedly that Beyonce's best friend and girl time group, Latavia Robertson, was repeatedly molested by a Houston cop. And Robertson confirmed the abuse. And Radars reported that adding more to the state that it was Robertson's ordeal coupled with witness Matthew's rages that ultimately transforming Beyonce into a music icon that she is today. After Beyonce started to get thick-skinned, Moore wrote that she's more edgy and protective. And you could see Beyonce sort of growing. So, I do feel like Beyonce got her drug habit from her dad. She witnessed a lot growing up between her dad being a drug addict, a sex addict, and the fights between her mom and her dad. I do not feel like Jay-Z is the reason why Beyonce is doing any type of drugs, whether it's alcohol, powder, pills, whatever it is that she does in her life. I feel like a part of the reason why Beyonce has to survive using drugs is because she had a dark background growing up with her mother, Tina Knowles, and her father, Matthew Knowles, who was a cheater. He cheated on Beyonce's mother several times, okay? He was a drug addict. He will come to all shows, meetings, just fucking jacked up and high all the time. And if you heard what I said, that he would come to the group that Beyonce had called Girl Times, that he would yell at them, scream at them, say all types of things to them that really shouldn't been said to 14, 15-year-old kids, okay? Now, you got to realize Beyonce and Destiny Child, they all came out when they were 16 years old, okay? Their first album was called Writing on the Walls, okay? Now, I do have another video that I would like to share with you guys, and it also talks about how Solange, okay? Solange actually said that Beyonce, Diddy helped Jay-Z give Beyonce drugs. So Diddy actually helped Jay-Z give Beyonce drugs. And I want to know more about that, because I want to hear a side of the story from the family, because a lot of times people don't really know what the fuck is going on. They just assume. So here we go, you guys. Let's go.
Monster. Now I know he's a monster for years. I waited a long time to see if he would grow a conscience. And the more drugs he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her.
I know, girl. See, hardly nobody knows. But I say, man, yeah, Beyonce's on drugs. She's been on them for a long time. And you keep her that way.
Okay, Emma needs y'all to get on to this insane drama, because Solange Knowles is now coming for Jay-Z once again, and as usual, she is not holding back on this, because she is coming for him hard. She came out with some hard evidence about how Jay-Z has allegedly been controlling and manipulating Beyonce with drugs, and he has allegedly been leaving her so drugged out of her mind that she can't make her own decisions. This has allegedly been going on for a hot minute now, and allegedly, Beyonce hasn't made her own decisions in a hot minute, because it has been Jay-Z all along. Well, Solange is tired of watching this happen to her sister, and she is now calling Jay-Z out and threatening to release the alleged footage of him in a supposed freak off with Diddy. And get this, Solange also let it slip that not only did Jay-Z allegedly engage in freak-offs with Diddy, but he was also in charge of some of them and led the freak-offs. Allegedly. Y'all need to get onto this drama, because Solange did not come to play.
Sean Carter is worse. smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy. This pussy been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 fucking years.
For years, rumors swirled around Solange not being Jay-Z's biggest fan, and she kept proving it day after day. The streets buzzed with whispers, suggesting she wasn't exactly thrilled about Beyoncé's relationship and marriage to Jay-Z. The speculation was that she just didn't like him, leaving everyone curious about what exactly she had against her billionaire brother-in-law. Then came the recent allegations against Jay-Z, claiming he was using drugs to manipulate Beyoncé, and suddenly, Solange's view of him as an op didn't seem all that surprising. This kind of adds up with the weird things that people have been saying about the marriage and its weirdness. Jay-Z and Beyoncé, despite being considered a Hollywood power couple, had a relationship that was far from perfect. Their combined fortune of nearly $2 billion, a lavish home, and the admiration of their peers don't paint the full picture because there is a lot going on behind the scenes that you'd be gagged to find out about. If you haven't been keeping tabs on Beyoncé and Jay-Z's journey as a couple, let me fill you in because it's been one roller coaster ride filled with concern among fans. Their relationship has consistently faced scrutiny, especially for its unconventional aspects. Take, for instance, their first meeting when Beyoncé was only a teenager and Jay-Z was a grown man in his 30s. Looking back on those early days, Beyoncé spilled the beans in an interview, saying, "I was 18 when we first met, 19 when we started dating. There was no rush. No one expected me to run off and get married." They officially started dating when Beyoncé was 19 and Jay-Z was 31, a substantial age gap that had fans buzzing, with some even tossing around speculations of Beyoncé being groomed by Jay-Z. But hold up, there's more. Apart from the age gap, the power dynamics in this duo raised quite a few eyebrows right from the jump. Picture this. Beyoncé, who was already a rising star, started dating Jay-Z, an industry heavyweight with way more clout and influence than she had at the time. The combination of their age difference and power dynamics became the talk of the town, sparking debates about how lopsided the relationship seemed from the very beginning. As time rolled on, things kind of evened out in the relationship game because Beyoncé skyrocketed to become Hollywood's reigning queen. She's not just a big deal, she's the biggest deal, holding the record for the most Grammy wins ever. Despite her mega success, some fans still side-eye the whole marriage scene, making Jay-Z catch some heat. He's been on the receiving end of criticism, with folks tossing around labels like Predator. Then there's also the fact that Jay-Z was Beyoncé's first real relationship. She has opened up about how she didn't have the typical childhood or teenage years because she was super focused on her career. She said, "My teenage years were about the grind. My energy went into Destiny's Child and the dream of us getting a record deal and becoming musicians. If something wasn't helping me reach my goal, I decided to invest no time in it. I didn't feel like I had time to kiki or hang out. I sacrificed a lot of things and ran from any possible distraction." Beyoncé found herself not just 12 years younger than Jay-Z, but she was also navigating the whole relationship scene with a bit of inexperience, adding an extra layer of sketchiness. As time went on, the conversation shifted to whether or not Beyoncé felt a tad restricted in the marriage, especially now that she's older and has way more experience than when she was 19. Well, as it turns out, the rumors weren't just rumors because some insiders spilled the tea, claiming that Beyoncé wasn't just feeling trapped, she was genuinely stuck. According to the grapevine, Jay-Z held the controls tight, controlling every single aspect of her life and leaving her with minimal...
So let's talk about it, y'all. If Beyoncé felt like she was stuck, I feel like then this has to be a marital agreement of business, okay? Now, yes, they are 12 years apart. Their age are a 12-year difference, okay? And I feel I'm actually a woman that is dating an older man, okay? But we're not that much older than each other. He is 4 years older than me. I have consumed, marijuana in my life. I have did alcohol in my life, but I'm 36 years old. I can do what I want to do with my money because it's my money. I definitely don't give Jay-Z the full ability. I don't want to make him accountable for her drug use. And I will not stand to allow someone else to make someone else accountable for someone else's drug use because she is a grown-ass woman, okay? Now, at the end of the day, when it comes to business and it comes to anything else, I feel like if Beyoncé felt stuck in this relationship and she is not able to do what she wanted in this relationship, then why the fuck haven't she left? Every time I hear Jay-Z or Beyoncé on a track together, you can tell that they are very in love with each other. despite that Beyonce may have come from a background where her father was a sex addict and also a drug user, okay? That could be something that she is dealing with, you know? She dealing with that she has other sisters and brothers that does not have the same mother as her. She has been bitten by her sister that her dad had from another affair, who is actually a actor too. She has been in different types of movies and stuff. But at the end of the day, Beyonce is definitely someone that has a mind of her own. And if she is doing drugs, I don't feel like it's Jay-Z doing it. Now, if Diddy is helping her, everybody know what the fuck Diddy is and who the fuck Diddy is. Diddy is not really a person of a great person. He has been in the tabloids several times for killing people. He killed his wife. He is, brainwashing young Miami. So he's not really his accreditations right now. I can believe that maybe he is supplying the drugs because he the one that got Tupac killed, Biggie killed, and Diddy is known for being a grimy ass producer. We all know that. Everybody know that he's a grimy ass producer. So I want to go ahead and listen to the rest of this video. And you guys don't stop listening to us right now because this is just the beginning. Here we go.
Minimal space to live on her terms. Recently, more and more people started speaking out, shedding light on Jay-Z's obsessive control, and one interesting perspective came from a dude who claimed to be Beyonce's former bodyguard. Buckle up, because this guy had a lot to spill about the ins and outs of Beyonce's relationship with Jay-Z. He dove right in, confirming suspicions that their marriage was more of a business deal than a love story.
To remember, your relationship was a business relationship, financial. To get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there.
The bombshell revelation doesn't exactly send shockwaves through the fandom, given the long-standing whispers that Beyoncé and Jay-Z's relationship has been a bit peculiar right from the beginning. For years, folks have been spreading the word that their marriage isn't exactly built on the foundation of true love. Fans have often talked...
All right, so I want to go on a break, and I will be back with more the rumors of Jay-Z controlling Beyonce with drugs. This is Hannah Yemaya on your Soul Culture Oracle Morning Show with Hannah Yemaya. Y'all stay tuned. I'll be back with more after these messages.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Unleash. You guys looking for a podcast that covers love, relationships, trending issues, and taboo topics for people of color? Tune in to Melanin Vibes, hosted by Nikki. Join the conversation that get insights, advice, and engaging discussions that educate, empower, and entertain. Subscribe now. And be sure to follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Melanin Vibes. Vibes, that's VYBEZ. Holla at your boy.
So we're back, you guys, and I was talking about how Jay-Z and everybody is trying to claim that Jay-Z is a part of the reason why Beyonce is struggling with drugs, that she can't survive with drugs. And so I did find something that says something that how Solange is slamming Jay-Z for controlling Beyonce. And I did find a video that I want to share with you guys. So it's an audio video. So y'all listen, stay tuned and listen to this video. I'm only going to play a short clip, and then I'm going to give you guys what I believe and what I think. So here we go.
So it looks like Solange is once again ready to square up with Jay-Z because she just came out to expose him for allegedly controlling Beyonce with drugs. Solange has never really liked Jay-Z, and she has never shied away from making her stand clear. And now she is coming up with some hard evidence about how Jay-Z has been manipulating Beyonce. Also, it looks like Kevin Hart's marriage might be taking a downward spiral because word on the streets is that his wife, Eniku, is taking some legal steps and considering ending their marriage after Kevin was exposed for cheating on her again. Y'all need to get on this drama drama real quick because things are about to get messy. There have been rumors for years about how Solange is probably not Jay-Z's biggest fan, and a girl does she keep proving it every day. The streets have been saying for years that she isn't exactly the biggest fan of Beyoncé's relationship and marriage to Jay-Z because she just doesn't like him. And we've been wondering what exactly she has against her billionaire brother-in-law. Well, following the recent allegations that have been brought against Jay-Z and how he is allegedly controlling Beyoncé with drugs to manipulate her, it's not really surprising that Solange considers him to be an op. Again, this kind of echoes what people have been saying about the marriage and how weird it is. Jay-Z and Beyoncé are arguably the Hollywood power couple, but that doesn't mean their relationship was all sunshine and rainbows. It was far from perfect. Despite their combined fortune of nearly $2 billion, a luxurious home, and the admiration of their peers, the dynamics of their marriage presented a whole different story. For those not in the loop on Beyoncé and Jay-Z's journey as a couple, they have consistently faced scrutiny for the unconventional aspects of their relationship. For example, they first met when Beyoncé was just a teenager, while Jay-Z was in his 30s. Reflecting on those early days, Beyoncé once shared in an interview, "I was 18 when we first met, 19 when we started dating. There was no..."
So let's talk about it. One thing about this whole scenario is Solange has never been a fan of Jay-Z and Beyonce's relationship. Since the accident in the elevator when Solange jumped on Jay-Z because he was talking to another woman. And I don't know where they were at, but I know that Solange really tried to beat him the fuck up because of the infidelity, of him cheating on her, him doing things to her. And I do agree to a fact that maybe he is controlling her when it comes to business, but as far as their relationship, I don't feel like that he has, again, he is the reason why Beyoncé, I say, is doing drugs. So here's a spiritual spin to this, you guys. The spiritual spin to this is that we have to understand other people's viewpoints, okay? And I understand all the viewpoints. And remember, I went to the background of how Beyoncé actually is, dealing with, her father being a drug addict and all of the things that he has done to her family, as far as him, as Matthew Knowles being the father and the husband of her mother, Tina Knowles. Beyoncé has been dealing with things that she doesn't talk about in the tabloids, that she hasn't confirmed, and the only one that can confirm that she is doing drugs is her, okay? There is actually allegations of this by other people, that is in the tabloids on YouTube, but the spiritual spin is stop listening to everybody's truth about Beyoncé. Nobody knows her truth. Nobody knows what's going on with her. Nobody knows that what she does. All we know is that she has good music. She's a good artist. She's a good singer. She grew up in the church. She's from Texas. And of course, she keeps a bottle of hot sauce in her purse, okay? But one thing I will say, don't judge a book by its cover because someone else said that she's doing drugs, or someone else said that she is not happy, or all of these things. If she wasn't happy, and if this was a business marriage, a business contract for her and Jay-Z to be married, why are they still married so long if she's unhappy, or she can't think for herself, or she can't do this, or she can't survive? Because I do recall her making an album every year. She just came out with an album. She just went on tour. She was just here in Charlotte, North Carolina over the summer. People need to stop blaming other people for other people's downfalls. If Beyonce want to do drugs, that's her prerogative. If Beyonce want to drink alcohol, that's her prerogative. If Beyonce is doing it because she wants to do it and Jay-Z has nothing to do with it, that's her prerogative. People need to mind their fucking business, and that's the end of the story. So y'all have a great day. Tune in to us every Tuesdays and Thursdays for the morning show, and also tune in every Wednesdays and Saturdays for the evening show with me, your soul coach Oracle Hannah Yemaya, and inspirational messenger BG. And y'all have a blessed day. Bye, you guys. Thank you for joining me on the Soul Coach Oracle Morning Show podcast today. I hope that this conversation has left you feeling inspired and empowered. Don't forget to tune in every Tuesday and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time Zone on all 8 podcast platforms to continue exploring hot topics with a spiritual spin. Remember to subscribe and leave a review if you enjoy the show. Until next time, take care, keep shining your bright light, and I would like to see you later. Have a great day.